to the social media derby. For those of you watching on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel, like the video and share it if you can. And as always, if you have any comments or you want to discuss anything that we're talking about, please leave a comment down below. For those of you listening on Spotify, Apple, or any other podcasting platform, as always, please follow and give us a 5-star review if you can. It really helps us get more people's eyes and ears, I guess, onto the show.
But anyway, let's get into the prediction segment of the pod, Jonts. You've had a right old time of it with the predictions over the last couple of weeks, haven't you?
I have.
I know you want to make crazy. Yeah, you want to point this out. Go on, share your accolades.
I mean, now that I'm thinking about it, and when people probably look at it, they're going to think that I'm a bit of a bellend. But I mean, I predicted that we'd win against Luton, I think 3-1. We ended up winning 2-0. I predicted that we'd beat Brighton, I think 4-1. We ended up winning 3-0. I predicted that you guys would lose 3-2. You ended up losing 4-3. I mean, this Liverpool Man United one, it was a bit of a stinker. I think I said that they were going to beat you 4-1.
You said 4-1.
But yeah, we'll skip over that part because that game is just a weird game. If you look at like the results over the last like 6-7 fixtures, it's just the weirdest combination of teams winning by massive goal differences and so on. But yeah, man, I need to start betting on this. I need to get on Super 6. I need to do something because right now I am on fire when it comes to these predictions. And you better watch yourself because next season when we do scoreboards and forfeits for whoever comes last, you need to watch yourself because I'm going to cook you.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be eating that like a spicy Dorito thing that people have got one chip challenge in it and be flaming my ass off because there's no way I'm winning it. I'm literally the opposite of Mystic Meg at the moment. Everything I touch turns to just the opposite of gold. So yeah. Stinkers all around for me, but yeah, let's get into the you've got 2 games this week because you're back in Champions League action. Huge game against Bayern Munich. We'll start with that on Tuesday. Bayern have absolutely been rotting it up in the Bundesliga at the moment, like losing to everyone. I think they were 2-0 up this weekend, lost 3-2. Tommy Tukes is throwing in absolute clangers after clangers. Harry Kane has had the same touch that I've had on predictions with his trophy cabinet in Germany because it looked like he's going to get nothing. And they've won everything before he got there. So, wow, I feel bad for him. But what do you make of this game? Do you think form goes out the window? Because if you look at form, you should absolutely trounce them. But I know form's not always the case in knockout football. So what do you think that game is going to end up looking like, and do you think you get the dub?
Oh god, I wish that we were playing away first. Just I need to get that in there. As much as the Porto debacle was brazy, like having the home crowd in the deciding tie is so much better. But okay, I'm gonna go for a 2-1 Arsenal win. I think we are system-wise and off form, we are better than them, right? Because under Tommy Tuchel, their system has looked terrible, right? They've just got Kane slapping in goals, and they're just counting on like individual really good players, which they've got, right? Musiala, Kane, Alphonso Davies, they've got class players. So, I'm not going to say like Tommy Tuchel is working magic there because he's got one of the best teams in the world to play with, right? So the issue I've got is those players are going to play. And how do you win against a team that's got a really good system that's really effective? Look at Real Madrid. You rely on players just being really, really good. And they've got the kinds of players that can do that. So I don't see them not scoring against us in either of the ties, to be perfectly honest with you, because I think Harry Kane just hit 50 goals and assists for the season. I think he's the first player to do it so far this season. I think by a mile, because Haaland's been a bit stinky. So, man, I don't think we can look past the fact that they've got Harry Kane and Musiala and these kinds of players. So I think they're going to score. But I think with the home crowd behind us, I think we'll have just enough to get over the line. Especially if we've got like a fit squad. I'm hopeful. I think I'm going to go 2-1.
Okay, fair enough. I can see this being only an Arsenal win. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not trying to jinx you. I'm not trying to do any kind of reverse judge or anything like that. I can only see an Arsenal win. The problem I have is picking a score because I've gone for you guys to concede in the last couple of games, and you have not conceded one. So your defense is so miserly, but I feel like I've talked about this a million times. You guys in Champions League just haven't, to this point, haven't shown your Champions League self. I would say, like, you haven't shown certain elements that I would feel as comfortable with you in the Champions League as I do predicting games in the Premier League. So I think you'll win, but it won't be smooth sailing. And I'm actually going to go 3-2, and I think they'll score. And if it wasn't Harry Kane, I would not dare to say you're going to concede more than one goal. But because of Harry Kane, I feel like you will, and I feel like you'll probably show a little few naive moments here and there, and Bayern are not the team to do that too. So I think you'll
their
win.
Right winger, by the way?
They've got Sane, Gnabry, and Coman, haven't they, as their choice of wingers? So they've got ballers everywhere.
Yeah, no, I'm just worried about Zinchenko.
Yeah, exactly. Don't play Zinchenko. That's what I'd say to Arteta. Get
Tomiyasu or Kiwi or on the pitch, I beg you.
Get any one of your defenders. Play 4 centre-backs like you do in the league. Just don't play Zinchenko. Whatever you do, don't. Because Sane, Gnabry, and Coman will all cook him to smithereens. So I would not let him touch a field. But yeah, I think you'll still score though. Like, absolutely, you're firing on all cylinders when it comes to the attack. But I think defensively, you're still kind of working out your footing in Champions League. So I'm going to say 3-2 Arsenal, which will set up beautifully for the second leg, by the way. I still
thank
think
God away goals
don't
matter anymore. If it does end up 3-2, thank God away goals aren't important anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go then, because we don't have a midweek game. We're out of everything in Europe anyway. So let's go to the weekend predictions then. We've flipped it, and we're first. So we're going to play on Saturday. We're away at Bournemouth. Bloody hell. They've pumped us once this season. The only thing I will say before I get into my prediction, they've not looked as good in recent weeks. They lost away to Luton. Iriola's been struggling. I don't know if it's because the players are knackered. I haven't really paid too much attention whether they've had loads of injuries or anything like that. But yeah, Solanke's slowed up FPL wise, so I've kicked him out. So that's kind of told me all I need to know about Bournemouth recently. So yeah, I think we've got a better chance than, if they were playing as well as they were kind of around Christmas. I'd say this is a stinky fixture and we're going to get slapped. But I actually think this will be one where it'll be tight. And I think I'm going to go for a 2-1 Man United win. But, at this point, we talked about it. It's a crapshoot. Could be anything. We could draw, we could lose. But I'm going to go for us to win 2-1. I reckon Bruno, Garnacho, either one or both will get on the score sheet and we'll just about nick it. So I'm going to go 2-1 Man U. What about you?
I was actually thinking 2-1 as well, because I think they will score. Because even against Luton, I know they lost, but they scored. But in the last 5 games, they've scored every single game. And they beat Luton 3 games before that. I think in the FA Cup or whatever it was, 4-3. They beat Everton. I know these aren't great teams, but they've beaten them. They've beaten Palace. So, I think you guys will bounce back. I don't think you can go this long without winning. So I'm gonna say, I'm gonna go for a 2-1 as well, And I think it will be, like a 1-0 United, then Bournemouth equalise, and then you guys win it, in the 75th, 80th minute, or something like that.
Yeah, that will not do well for my heart rate if we have to hold them to a lead again, because we haven't been good at that. All right, let's get into the Arsenal game then. You're playing Villa. Wow, what a game.
No. Good evening.
2 big home games, isn't it? 2 big home games in a row. Villa themselves, we said it earlier, they've been shaking up a storm. 3-3 against Brentford. Brentford don't score 3 goals. What's going on? And then did they lose the game before that? I feel like they've been on a
they
bit
got battered by
run.
City, man. They went 1-0 up against City,
of course.
and then just got absolutely slapped in the second half.
Phil Foden show, I remember that. So to be honest, man, I'm going to go first on this one again. I actually think you guys will win 3-1, but I could be tempted to say 3-0. But I think I'm going to say 3-1 because Villa might nick a goal. They play on the counter. They've got pacey strikers and attackers, so they might be able to just about nick one. But I think this will be a relatively comfortable 3-1. Like, I see you guys doing something similar to what City did to them. Their form is all over the shop. Unai Emery's getting the shakes coming up to Champions League football. I think he's trying to sabotage it so he can get back into the Europa. But yeah, I think you guys are going to win 3-1, and I think it's going to be a bad evening for Unai. And yeah, Tottenham have moved into fourth now. I don't see Tottenham losing fourth. So
they've got some hard games though. But
yeah, I know Tottenham have got hard games, but Villa are making the routine ones look hard. So
true.
Villa have got I think Villa have got Liverpool as well.
They've got Chelsea as well, which I know
they've got Chelsea,
can or cannot be a hard game depending. Yeah,
that's still
got Brighton away. Mate, they got Brighton away as well. That's not an easy fixture, and then they got Crystal Palace away on the last game of the season. So it's just not an easy run for them.
Yeah, Crystal Palace away is hard because City struggled against them today on Saturday. That new Glasner guy's got them playing, a bit more attacking and a bit more kind of expansive football, which works with their players, by the way. I think Roy Hodgson did a good job to settle them, but at some point you've got to unleash Eze and all them guys, isn't it? You can't just play defensive football. So I think that would be hard. I think, so I think, they're going to struggle, man. And I think if you win against Bayern, regardless of the score, that just keeps this form train going. And I think Villa are not the one to stop it. They're gonna get slapped. So I'm gonna say 3-1 Arsenal. What do you think, Johns?
I'm going 4-1, and the reason I say that is because they got to play Lille in the conference on Thursday. So they've got a Thursday Sunday this week, which is not fun. I know that we've got a game as well, but obviously we're not playing that close to the Sunday game. Exactly, yeah. So we got a bit more time to recover. I also think I can't remember who it was, but they were saying like his team choice against City was really weird. So I think he's doing some rotational weird things right now, and it's not really working out for him. And the fact that he's got a 2-game, Lille, and then it is at home for them, which is good. But I mean, the fact that they've got to play Lille and then got to come to the Emirates and play us, I think is going to lend itself to him doing some weirdness, because I think he's going to prioritize the conference as much as like getting into the Champions League is great. Going from the Conference League into the Europa League is still a step up from him, right? So it's still a positive. And I think he prioritizes over everything trophies. So I think, especially European ones. So I think he's probably going to go full strength against Lille and then do something funky against us, change up his team a little bit. So I think I can see us, because they already concede quite a lot of goals because of the fact that they play such a risky kind of high line. They've got, I think, I can't remember if it was the last game or against City, but they had some defensive calamities in that game. So I think we'll be able to do the same thing against them. So I'm going to say 4-1. I do think they'll score though, because Ollie Watkins is Ollie Watkins, and John Duran also didn't realize he was like 19 or 20 or whatever. I didn't realize he was so young, but he's like Colombian Darwin Núñez, man. He might hit one and smack it top bins from 45 yards out, or he might just absolutely rose-ed corner flag it as well. So yeah, I think they've got a goal in them against us, but I think we're going to have enough, and they're bad enough at the back that we'll get enough goals past them. Yeah,
no, they're same as Spurs, isn't it? High line for life, just recklessly, and
exactly
when they play the big teams. I know they beat you guys. They beat City at home, but that was when they were at their peak. Like the steam train was going. And when they found it a bit stickier in recent weeks, they're not looking the same. And I
mean, their last 3, like I guess, or last 4 big fixtures, they got slapped by Chelsea at home in the FA Cup. They got beaten by you in the Premier League at home, and they got beaten by Tottenham 4-0 at home. So, I mean, add on the City, result. They're not doing so well against the top 4, like the traditional Big 6 type teams recently, are they?
Nah, they've had a massive drop off. I think people, and I'm not on like a Villa hate train. I really like Villa, and I really like Unai Emery, and I like a lot of their players. I'm going to ignore the fact that they were hammering Kobe Mainoo and try and keep it real, try and keep it unbiased. But yeah, they just they've struggled against the big teams. They've looked a lot like pretenders, and I'm not trying to say that to be harsh on them, because I would say it very differently with a lot more vim if I was talking about Newcastle, who absolutely are pretenders. Get back in your box, you shit, mate. But Villa, I think they've done so well, and it's probably a bit too harsh to expect them to keep it up. Right? They're not built like some of the big teams. They're trying to get there, and they've done amazingly to get where they are at the moment. If they finish 5th or 6th, it would still be an unbelievable season for them. And if we were to steal 5th from them, it would be harsh, because I really think they deserve it. So,
Agreed.
I think it's just running out of steam, doing this Thursday Sunday thing, and having Unai Emery means he's going to go for it, which sometimes hurt you, like you've said. So yeah, it's just the way the cookies crumble. Let's see. They'll probably deal with things better next season. But I think, with regards to this fixture, I think it's a home banker. I would be very, very shocked if you didn't get 3 points and win it quite comfortably. So yeah.
Now this is starting to worry me, because we've got the same, I guess, overall result predictions for all of these, and you are usually wrong. God, okay. Let's hope you haven't jinxed it. Let's hope you haven't jinxed it, mate.
The beauty of this is I've only if I do jinx it, I've only jinxed one of my results, and you've got 2 that are going to F up. So, you know what? I can live with that. I'll hold them.